Hello everyone. As you can see from this video's title, I'm here to give my take on gender representation in video games, most notably fighting games. I, in particular, am against the criticism, especially when it's still happening. I think the depictions of women in video games, fighting games, make sense, and I'll explain why in this video. While my argument is towards all fighting games, I'm mainly going to talk about Soul Calibur, since I'm a fan of it, and am offended by the reputation it has in the video game industry, all over its female characters. Those who criticize them don't even focus on their backstories and personalities. First and foremost, characters look and dress the way they do for lore reasons. They're also super fitting to the characters. If a female character is super busty and curvy, it's fitting to their very character. It should also be noted that not every single female character in every single fighting game have large breasts. A game usually has just one or two characters that outsize every other female in terms of breasts and hips. These are also usually tall women. But if you're still going to criticize these depictions, I'll bring up that these games usually take place in fantasy universes, such as Soul Calibur. Whenever myself and a lot of other people think of women in fantasy, they're all usually busty and wear very revealing clothing. Before I talk about the female characters in Soul Calibur, I'm going to mention that the developers for these games are not perverts, and saying they are is just wrong. You're also blaming this on the fact that these games were made in Japan, the land of fetishes in your eyes. No, that's not a good excuse, and it's totally not fair to the Japanese people. Japan already has an unfair reputation to countries outside of it, especially to the West, all of whom view the country as a land of fetishes and nonsense, all over the fact that they made anime. Viewing Japan this way is just fetishizing the country and their culture, and does very little to alleviate the unfair reputation it has. And what do you expect to gain from having these thoughts? So yeah, the developers behind these games are not perverts. They're all professionals and mature gentlemen. A pervert wouldn't even be successful in a major company, and wouldn't be accepted in such businesses and those a part of them. Another thing you should keep in mind is that these companies are very strict, and are known for firing their employees over the littlest things. All they care about is making money, and making sure what they're making is successful and sells. So yeah, you honestly think such businesses would tolerate perversion? Basically, in your eyes, 2003, the year Soul Calibur 2 came out, was a year of sexualization of anything Japanese. Just because it was the year that game came out. Soul Calibur and all other fighting games aren't made or played to be horny. They're made to have fun. Playing these games just to be horny is a total waste of money. These games are rated T. Everything sexual in these games are done in a T-rated manner. To say that 2003 was such a horny year for video games is just wrong. And once again, you're treating the Japanese like they're subhumans. Just so you know, if something in a game looks sexualized, it's got nothing to do with the fact that it was made in Japan. If American developers want to sexualize something, they can. And they tend to go even more extreme. Now let me talk about the Soul Calibur characters Taki, Ivy, Sophidia, Cassandra, and Talum. Taki is a female ninja who gets criticized for her outfit, all because it's so skin-tight and looks painted onto her body. What those who criticize her outfit don't seem to understand is that her outfit actually makes complete sense for the following reasons. She's a ninja, but falls into the female assassin category. She's able to run and jump so fast that it looks like she's teleporting. She's all about stealth. Her outfit is the most suitable for stealth. Armor would make noise with every movement she'd make, and it would be far more difficult to be acrobatic. The outfits typical ninjas wear would also make noise. It might be nothing compared to armor, but it would definitely make noise when moving against walls or crawling with her chest-stomach against the floor. Basically, her outfit allows her to be stealthy without making a single sound, making her outfit top-notch and very fitting. Why does she have large breasts? Because it's fantasy, and I can't even picture her with small breasts. Female characters with her body have large breasts. Now let's talk about Ivy. People will argue she's got huge boobs and wears the most revealing outfit in gaming. She's a seductress character. Her outfit and body is what she needs in order to be a seductress. If a character acts like a seductress, they need to look like one as well. Her reason for being a seductress is for lore reasons. And if you're going to argue why the developers decided to make her a seductress, if I were to guess, I can't even think of any seductresses in video games made before Soul Calibur, making her character and design completely original. Now let's talk about the Alexandras, which are Sophidia and Cassandra. Cassandra's got an average IRL female build, while her sister Sophidia is bustier, and they both wear skirts in combat. This all makes sense for the following reasons, both of whom are rather flirty, and enjoy mocking male opponents like they're trying to humiliate them and display female dominance. They both come from a female-dominated family. Their mother was a goddess, while their father was just a baker. Everything about them is entirely feminine, both their looks, personalities, and the way they dress. And last but not least, Talon. The reason I'm going to talk about her is because she's 15, which is underage in terms of anything sexual. But also keep in mind that there's nothing sexualized about her. The developers know what ages are too young to sexualize, and therefore wouldn't even think about that. Also, according to her development, she was made 15 because the developers felt the series lacked any child characters, and having her be a young priestess was the most fitting choice they had. Hope that helps. Soul Calibur isn't even about porn, and it doesn't even come anywhere close to that. It's about a legendary weapon called the Soul Edge that characters are fighting for, and its main character is male. Just so you all know, every character in Soul Calibur, at least the first few games, were designed by a woman, Aya Takamura. So if you think Soul Calibur is a male-dominated franchise, you're 100% wrong. You'd also be surprised by how many female fans Soul Calibur has, all of whom love playing as the female characters, and love that how in video games, women aren't portrayed as defenseless housewives or damsels in distress. That is also a good thing that you should thank these games for, because women shouldn't be portrayed as defenseless. They know how to fight if they wanted to. Now I'm going to talk about the flirtatious attacks done by some female characters in video games, most notably using their asses to attack. Again, those who came up with the attacks are not perverts or sexual. It's a part of the character's personality trait why they'd attack like that. Whenever developers make attacks like those, or are making their characters look sexualized, they're not even making them for themselves or because they like it. They're making it for the players, because they know they'd be interested. Because the developers are professionals and mature, they'd more than likely just laugh at booty attacks due to the concept and how ridiculous yet funny they think it is. Sophia Alexandra has a grapple attack called Heaven's Arch that involves her sitting on her opponent's face. According to my research, that attack was thought of and made by a female developer. She clearly knew players would like it. I just feel like bringing this up just in hopes to get some understanding. It doesn't make sense. Video games with swords have women wearing armored bikinis. They're totally not protected. There are countless male characters in video games that are shirtless, including in games with swords. Why can't the same apply to female characters? Their breasts are at least covered. Now to finish off this post, I'm now going to talk about the swimsuit DLCs a lot of these games have. If you're going to complain that these DLCs give female characters bikinis, and is done just for male players, keep in mind that these DLCs also give male characters swimsuits. They give them swim trunks. And more than 90% of these games have more male characters than female characters. So, there you go. Alright, I think I've now said everything I had to. I hope I've made some of you understand all this, or I've just pissed you off. I don't care either way. You either accept the games and their physics, or don't play them. The purpose of this video was to explain the reasons and honesty on why these games are the way they are. I want the criticism against the depiction of women to tone down significantly. It's misogynistic and misunderstood. Many women play these games, and don't have any problem with it. Doesn't that make you feel any better? I just want everyone to have fun and enjoy these games. They're made for nothing but entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with the developers. Enjoy your favorite fighting games. Have fun.